Okay, welcome to virtual TaxSlayer training. I apologize for the audio. Vida doesn't really have quality mics or anything, so we're just gonna have to deal with this. But so the plan for this training is to go over the 3 practice scenarios that are in the first TaxSlayer training slideshow. So for the Tuesday people, we already went over the first practice scenario with Mildred and just the W-2 and the educational expenses, so you can just kind of skip over that if you don't really want to watch it again, but you can stick around if maybe you want some review or whatever. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. Alright, so Mildred, she's a student, she has the following information. So I'm going to have another screen open with this on my own. It won't be shown in the video here, so if at any point you need to come back and reference this, you can just pause the video and just go back and look at it. But for now, I'm just going to be referencing my other screen. But before we begin, we have to actually sign into TaxSlayer here. And this is what it looks like when you log in, and we're just going to go straight to the practice area. We're going to start a new return. Not really going to worry about the taxpayer profiles yet, and just enter in her social security number, which is 1234567. I'm going to enter that in twice and start return. Okay, if we look at the information given to us, it looks like she's going to file single. And we're gonna enter in her information: Mildred, Mathias, her date of birth. We got August 18, 1994. Occupation says she's a gardener. Okay, looks like she can be claimed as a dependent since she was supported by her parents. We're also going to check this box since she's a full-time student. It looks like none of these apply. I'm going to put in her address here, 777 Tiverton Avenue, 995. That's going to self-populate. It's going to be great. We're just going to put in a random phone number here, since it's not super essential for the practice lab purposes, but for real life you should put their real phone number. We're gonna skip this real fast, just because we're more concerned about the federal return, and this is just about the state, and we'll go over that in the second training session. It looks like she has no dependents, so we're gonna go ahead and hit no for this, and we're gonna hit enter myself for income because we know what we're doing here. And it looks like she has a W-2. I'm gonna go to it real fast here. And then this is what's on the W-2, and we're just gonna enter the information just as it shows on the form. We're gonna see this box is checked, which is good. The EIN is 7712345667. And that it self-populates. Yours may or may not come up like this, but if it is just different, just go ahead and just change it. Her wages and tips, she's got this amount, and then this all self-populates. For this example, this is fine, with the exception of this number. This one's different. But usually in real life, especially students who are dependent and stuff won't have these boxes filled out, and that's okay. You can just like go ahead and change it to like 0 or whatever and move on. But I'm just gonna change this to 181 because that's what it is in our example. It looks like her withholdings were 2,000. Okay, looks like she has nothing else on her W-2. She does have stuff in her state though. Even though we're not really going over state returns right now, I'm just gonna put it in because it's good practice. With the dash 600643. These are wages and state tax paid was $200. Alright, and then do like one last double check real fast. Continue. Alright, and then we'll go back to our slides here. So it looks like she has a 1098T, and if you look at the numbers here in box 2 and box 5, she has net educational expense of $2,000. So usually your mind would go like straight to, oh, she qualifies for a credit. And let's just say she's within the first 4 years of her undergraduate education. So let's go with American Opportunity Credit. Since she is a dependent though, according to the trainings that we put you through in the fall, that she should not be eligible for the American Opportunity Credit. But as pointed out in Tuesday TaxSlayer training, she actually is under special circumstances, such as, here, I'll go back to the box over here, in basic information, I'll put personal information here. Check here if the taxpayer can be claimed as a dependent on someone else's turn. Alright, so this is tricky because sometimes people will come into site and say like, oh, my parents aren't claiming me as a dependent, but then upon further inspection you realize that like they still qualify. You still have to check, you still have to check this box, because it says if you can be claimed, and this just determines whether or not this person can claim a personal exemption from themselves. So the exception is for the credit, if you can be claimed as a dependent, but you're whoever's claiming you, say like your parents, if they choose not to, you could actually be eligible to claim the credit yourself. And there are certain limitations on that, like for example the American Opportunity Credit. If you claim it for yourself and it's like you're between the ages of 18 and 24 and you like one of your parents is still alive, like you can't claim the refundable part. But this is a really rare case. If you do see that in TaxSite, you should call an officer over, and hopefully we can try to like explain the situation, because currently TaxSlayer doesn't actually have a way to show this on the return where like their parents aren't claiming them and they actually can claim the credit. So if you just call one of us over, we can go talk to him. Also, I can go to the deduction spot for the credit. Oh gosh, okay. So if for some reason you don't remember all that, you can still come over here to the educational credits, and you can input all the information here. I'll just do that really quickly. Okay, Regents of the University of California. Okay, it cuts off, which is okay. The address B303 Murphy Hall 995 111. Okay. Let's just say this is yes. This is no. I gotta enter this ID real fast. 60614. Okay. Let's say this is no. Also, yeah, this is a thing. If you somehow forget what the eligibility requirements for the American Opportunity, they're basically there in this little quiz here. Put yes here. No. No. Continue. And then you can notice this number 1377, it's not going to change because she was already marked as a dependent here. But say we go back and say she wasn't actually a dependent. Boop. Continue. Then we can see that the 1377 actually went up a little bit, and that's because the American Opportunity Credit is applying itself. Also, really quickly, a common situation that we'll see in TaxSite is scholarship income instead of scholarship expense. And what's weird about TaxSlayer is that the educational expenses and the scholarship is actually separate. Like, you can't just go to the 1098T and input as it is. You have to calculate what the expense or scholarship is beforehand and then enter it. So I'm going to show you how to do the scholarship real fast. So you're going to go to income, and you see that you can't really see scholarship or anything in the main menu. So we're going to go to other income. And then you're going to go under other compensation. And then right here is just scholarships and grants. And you can just enter the net amount and then hit continue. But yeah, that should be good for the federal section. And then last but not least, we have health insurance. I'm gonna go back to the slides real fast. Down here at the bottom, it says she had minimum essential coverage for the entire year, which is great. That makes our job super easy. I'm gonna run through this questionnaire. Also, another thing, if you read carefully here, it said, did you or your family have health insurance at any time in 2016? This could mean even if they weren't covered for the entire year, you can still hit yes here. It's just if they had it at any time. Like, literally, if it was just one day, you can check that box. Let's say it wasn't through the marketplace. Maybe it's like her parents or something. And this is our members. Yes, the entire year. And then we're not gonna worry about state too much right now. And then we're done. You can like go ahead and look at the 1040 if you want. Looks like she just has the W-2 information right there. We go to page 2. And then we got some adjustments to lower her tax liability. And you can see this educational credit right here. Applied since we changed her dependency status, but if you go back and recheck that box, that won't be there anymore. We have our withholdings, American Opportunity Credit. But yeah, looks good. Okay, but yeah, pretty simple stuff. You'll see these returns a lot. I always get really happy when I see them, but yeah. Alright, let's look at the second person. Alright, Howard Hoffman, handyman. I'm gonna start his return here. Social security number is 444-001234. 1234. Okay. Alright, based on the information, he's head of household. I'm gonna enter his information here. Howard Hoffman was born March 15th, 1977. Occupation as a handyman. Alright, and let's just say none of these apply. So I'll just go skip down to the address, which is 10899 Wilshire Boulevard. 924. And then again, we're gonna put in just a random phone number. Oops. Ooh. Because it doesn't really matter too much for practice. And again, we're not really gonna worry about state right now. And he does have dependents, so we're gonna hit yes here. Alright, let's just do Army first, because that's what's listed. And oh hey, look, the last name self-populates. That's pretty great. Let's see, their birthday was May 18th, 2003. 3. Alright. Social security number 444-001235. Let's say Army is his daughter. And they live together all 12 months. Alright, and then you can read these through really quickly, but none of them apply to Army, so we'll just hit continue. And then we'll add another one here since he has 2 kids. This other kid is Hammy. Last name Birthday is January 5th, 2011. 444-001236. Alright, let's say Hammy's a boy. Again, 12 months, and none of these apply. So we're going to hit continue here. And then we're going to move on to income. So it looks like he just has a W-2 again. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter this information just as it is on the form. EIN is 44123456 Okay, and then this shows up correctly. Wages is 44,000. Too many zeros. Okay. And then this self-populates. I gotta check that real quick. Yep, looks good. Say 6,600 is withheld. And then we're gonna look at this real fast. We can see in box 13, retirement plan is checked. And then you can see that here in box 14 and other. This DCPCAS stands for Defined Contribution Plan. This is the retirement contribution. Also, there's a question in the basic exam that's similar to this. Is asked about the retirement contribution credit, I believe, and you can tell that what their retirement plan contribution is by seeing that this box is checked, and then I think in like one of these two boxes, 12A or 12B, it'll be like a code D and then the amount. The code D just is telling you that it's a contribution to the 401k, I believe. But yeah, and then also the CASDI, if you're curious, is just the state disabilities insurance. So you'll typically see these a lot at Site 2. But we're just gonna go ahead, enter them in right now, check this box for retirement plan. Also, they have TaxSlayer has all these codes in the system already. The CASDI one is here already, so we're just gonna put this in 36. And they don't have the DCP CAS one, but ultimately it doesn't really affect your return too much since there's no credit for it or an adjustment or anything. So you can go ahead and just put other and just put the amount here. Okay, and then state information, just because we want it to look the same as the actual form. Ooh, 95-600-6143. I had 2,000 here. Okay, and then we're done with the W-2 there. Continue. And then it looks like Howard also has a little bit of interest income, so no problem, we can enter that right here. It'll be interest or dividend income, and he has the 1099 int and less than this amount in interest income. So we're just gonna put the information as it's shown. Oops. Charles Schwab. Looks like interest income is 132.8. And then none of the other boxes are filled. Looks good. Let's just hit continue. Alright. Let me go back to the slides. If we look at just the information given to us, you can probably guess that Howard will be able to be eligible for the earned income credit. And we can just add that in over here in deductions. And then you'll click on credits. And then further down here is the earned income credit. I'll just click here. And then the first one is what you would have to click on to apply the credit. Alright, this is only for if the earned income credit was disallowed for whatever reason. So we're just going to add the children though. Say they live together for all days of the year. They live together. We're I skip down. This is not true, and then we're gonna do child 2. Also live together. And then check this box. Okay, continue. Okay. And then last but not least again, health insurance. If we look at this, so just reading this, it sounds like that Howard is eligible for the premium tax credit. TaxSlayer has changed a little bit since I made these questions, so it's going to be a little bit different. It used to be there was just straight up a question that asked if you were eligible for any other type of health insurance. But for the sake of this example and showing you that he still has the premium tax credit, I'm just gonna make up some numbers along the way so it works out. Okay. Yes, here. Yep. Let's say they were insured for all 12 months. I think I'm gonna put yes for this one. Yes. Let's do like 6,000 and maybe like 3,000. Oh no, I'm gonna do 4,000. Okay, continue. It's gonna ask about their dependents, AGI and stuff. I think the oldest dependent is like 13. They're probably not over filing requirements, so I'm just gonna hit continue. Continue again. Okay. Healthcare exemption certificates. You can read through this. They don't really qualify, and let's just say they didn't get any exemptions from the marketplace either, so we can hit continue through this. And then not gonna worry about state right now. Alright, now we can look at their 1040. Look through it real quick. It looks pretty good. Let's go to page 2 and look more closely into the credits. Oh hey, also look at this. TaxSlayer automatically calculates whether or not you're eligible for the child tax credit and also how much you can get. So that's pretty handy dandy. Let's see. Yeah, here we got the earned income credit, and then the premium tax credit right here. So yeah, he's got a pretty big federal refund. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next example. Okay. Ooh. Alright, we got practice scenario 3 here with Pesto and Alfredo sauce. We're gonna start the new tax return here. So for the married filing jointly people, it really doesn't matter who you put as like the taxpayer for when you enter the first social security number. So generally when they fill out the interview sheet, just put the first name that comes up, because that'll probably make your life a little bit easier and more organized. So we're just going to use Pesto's social security number because that's what shows up first, and that's just how I want to do things. Okay. Hit start. Married filing jointly. Alright. Let's put Pesto sauce. Her birthday is June 1st, 1945. Occupation, I guess she has a part-time job as a Uber driver. Let me just put that there. Let's see. None of these apply. Oh, also, if you look at this really quickly, so a taxpayer is over 65. I think their spouse is too. So you'll see at the end in the 1040, the standard deduction will be a little larger than usual, and that's because they have the extra little boost because they're old. For the spouse, we got Alfredo sauce. 333 00 1235. Oops, got a 3. Birthday is October 23rd, 1948. Occupation, I don't think he has a job. I'll just put couch potato. Alright, and move on to their address here. 100 Pasta Avenue, 9261. Okay, looks good. Last random phone number we're gonna put in here. And hit continue. Alright, I don't believe they have any dependents. Nope. So we're gonna skip through this screen. And the first form they had is their 1099-R, which is retirement distributions. That's just this one. And this one's pretty easy. It's one of the ones where you just enter it like it is on the form. You do have to put whose 1099 this are. It says Pesto's name, so we're gonna put her. And gross distribution 23450. And the taxable amount is the same thing. Looks good. Payer information 551234 123. This is not correct, so we're just gonna change it. Retirement co 789 Park Place 940. Okay, she also has some stuff in box 4 here. And distribution code 7. You can go and look at what all the distribution codes mean if you want, and if you're curious, but I'll just tell you number 7 is for like normal distribution, like they're over the age limit and it's like they're not gonna get penalized for taking it out early or anything. But yeah, looks like that's all the information on this form. So we're just gonna hit continue here. On the next form we see is a 1099 miscellaneous. I'll go back to income. 1099's here. This is also Pesto's. That looks like the payers here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nope. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Payers. Ha! Okay. No. We're gonna change this to raise your LLC. 1455 Market Street, Suite 400. Zip code is 94103 1331. And this is Uber. We do occasionally get these guys every now and then. And their returns aren't too bad, I guess. But it's difficult if it's like you haven't seen anything like it, so that's why we're going over it right now. Right, she had this much in non-employee compensation. That's all she had in these boxes. Also, sometimes Uber or like Lyft, they give out like abridged versions of the 1099, and sometimes like a form called the 1099K, which I have right here and I can just show you. I'll show you how to input this in a minute, but if you just get the abridged version, it should say like how much income they had and like probably like what box it's in. So just put it in there. It doesn't have to look exactly like what you're used to, like the 1099 miscellaneous here or like the 1099K. But yeah, So we're just gonna fill out her Schedule C information right here. I think I can leave these blank. Yeah. Business code. Oh, I kindly put a business code in the little notes down here. You can't really see it on this screen, but on your computer you can probably see it if you have this open. It's 48. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Yeah. So for all like Uber and Lyft drivers, we'll use this code. But if you get like a random independent contractor or whatever, you can click on this, and then they give you like this huge long list of bunch of jobs and like what codes they have. You can just like control F through that. I can continue here. Oh, for the 1099K real fast, since we're in Schedule C already, it'll be under income. And then it's just in this value right here, gross receipts or sales. And you just put in whatever number it says there is. Alright, but we're gonna cancel here. Oh, I did something bad. In the 1099 miscellaneous, she had state income of $2,000. I should have put that in. For the sake of this training session, I'm not going to, even though I probably should. But since we're not too worried about the state, and this video is already going to be super crazy long, so it's okay. Looks like we've we've got some extra information here. So for people who file Schedule Cs, such as Uber drivers and independent contractors, they can deduct certain expenses, such as car and truck expenses, which we can put in right now. So you can just like put in the information that they give you. Looks like she's got Camry. Was placed into service March 2nd of this year. Business miles was 4,000. So you can try and calculate what like the commuting and the other miles are, but typically people will use like the standard amount, which I believe is like 54 cents per business mile. So it's not too big of a deal if like they can't come up with these numbers on their own. It's just important that you have this business miles one. Let's just say she has this one checked. Okay, continue. Okay. And then one other thing was her $150 in commissions and fees. That's pretty easy. I think that's in general expenses. Commissions and fees. Alright. Pretty easy stuff. And I believe that's all for the 1099 miscellaneous. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the 1099 dividends. So we're gonna exit out of this. Oh yeah, if they have other expenses, like for example, independent contractors, maybe they're like an artist or something, and just enter them in like other expenses or whatever, like if you can't find it in the general expenses section. Also in general expenses, I wanted to note really quickly, if there are trying to deduct meals and entertainment, you have to put the full amount here. Like if you've took like 1B or maybe like 127A, you know that like only half of it is actually deducted on their return, but TaxSlayer wants to calculate that for you, so just put the whole thing in. Okay, we're gonna cancel this. And then we're gonna go to the dividends form. It's gonna be in the same place as interest. Except now we're gonna hit dividend income. Alright, the payer is Beef Stock Co. Beef Stock Co. let's just say, yeah, it's Pestos. And she has ordinary dividends and qualified dividends. So qualified dividends, if you wanted to know, they're just like dividends that are taxed at a lower rate. Typically, for people that come to our tax sites, their income bracket is low enough for this to just be non-taxable, which is pretty cool. That's all the information here. And hit continue. And they've also got a 1098E here. Gonna enter this. So if you look at this, you should know there's an adjustment for student loan interest. Continue. We're gonna go to deductions here. Enter myself, and under adjustments, there should be a student loan interest deduction. Right? Pretty painless. You just put in the amount, which is $300, and hit continue. Okay, looks like that's everything. Now we're gonna go back up here real fast. So it looks like they've had MEC since March, so it's not for the full year, but we're gonna see what happens. Go to health insurance here. They did have health insurance. Let's say it's not through the marketplace. No, not all 12 months. Since March, so that'll be 10. Let's say they were just both 10. And then you'll just have to check all these boxes. I don't know of any shortcut to just go ahead and like quickly go through these. So if anyone knows, you should probably tell everyone else. But yeah, just kind of slowly make your way through. Okay, and same for the spouse. I don't think we need to put this for now. But if they have that information, you just go ahead and put it in. Alright, so actually if you read this, they don't qualify to claim coverage exemptions. But I mean, we can just go ahead and put yes and see what happens. Let's do Pesto. And if you put yes here, you're gonna have to have like a special code. But if we put no, it'll just give you like a drop down list. And since we know that they're eligible for this one, you can just click on it. Let's just say they were eligible for the full year. And then we gotta do the same for Alfredo here. Okay. I don't really care about the state return. Alright, now if we look at the 1040. Yay. Pretty fun stuff. We see like the student loan interest here, and also the deductions from the Schedule C will carry over here. We go over here. So their standard deduction normally would be the 12,600, but it's plus a little bit more because they're over 65. That's notable. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, so we're just gonna exit here now. And then I'm actually gonna log out to show you guys the answer to this homework question, because I did it on a different account. You can just pause the video here if you haven't done it yet, so you can do it. But otherwise, you can just like stick around. let me get my other account ready. Ooh. Bean Glock. Yeah. Alright, so given all this information, you can just basically plug in what this says in their appropriate boxes. You will have to make up a little bit of information. I'm not sure what specifically, but I mean like occupation, phone number, stuff like that that won't really affect the rest of the return, or the rest of the return. So if we see here, so this is his federal amount due, and if you want to just really quickly look through his 1040, this is what you should have gotten. Oh yeah, other income. I just put in a random name here. It's for, I think it was the 1099 miscellaneous that pulled that up. If we see page 2 here. Okay, but yeah, if you have any questions about the homework problem or just in general any of the scenarios that I presented, just go ahead and email us or post on the Facebook page, or you can even like message us, message a officer individually. But yeah, we're here to help. Hopefully this wasn't too painful for you to sit and watch through. But yeah, thank you. I look forward to seeing you all in TaxSlayer. Bye.